Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to show you how to upgrade your oil cooler on your BMW. Alright, let's get this unboxed. So this kit comes in at under $150 delivered to your door. It's an upgrade over your factory oil cooler. I'm replacing mine because my engine failed and I didn't want metal particles to be making it into my new engine. But this is also a big upgrade in terms of surface area over your stock cooler if you're pushing your car hard or you're tracking it and you don't want your oil to go too thin. So you have the cooler itself, you have the AN adapter that screws to your oil filter housing, you have this to secure the lines together inside your engine bay. You have the two AN style lines. You have the shroud here that bolts into your factory location. And that's pretty much the entire kit. All right, first things first, pull your engine out of your car so you can access this bolt. Obviously I'm joking, but I have my engine out, of course, because I'm replacing it, and I'll show you the state of my engine bay. So there's how my engine bay looks right now. Here's my old engine, here's my transmission. Here's a huge mess of parts as I'm doing this swap. So you have to use your imagination because this kit doesn't require that you remove your front bumper or anything. From what I can tell, this is the only thing that's gonna have to come out of the way. There's two T20 Torx that you're gonna remove to be able to get to that 13mm bolt that bolts your oil cooler lines to the cooler or oil filter housing. And then you'd be able to unclip the lines from a bracket on the engine, and then over here, there's another 13mm bolt. Then you'll be able to remove the lines from the car up until where the cooler starts, and then you had the lines that bolt up to the engine itself. So you'll be undoing that 113 that goes to the oil filter housing, unsnapping them from the front of the engine. You have just enough room once you remove that snorkel. You should be able to get access to that without doing anything except using a long extension to get that one bolt out, and then you can take the line assembly out. Then you'd be done from the front. So like I said, the bumper stays on. You'll have to do some trimming to make this fit of your splash shield, etc., to get full airflow through it. But it will help to have the bumper off in this case so you can see where things are oriented from the front side, but really you can work just from the back side. So you're just taking up the snorkel lines, and then you're coming over here, taking the wheel off and the wheel liner to see what's going on. But as a first step, I'm going to take this bolt out. We're not using it. So in the kit, they expect you to provide your own O-rings because they're not included. That bottom part number there is for the two O-rings. I'll put a link in the description for brand new OEM ones. I'd recommend that you replace them. Use a little bit of silicone lube for these O-rings. So again, I'll put a link in the description for the oil cooler kit and the O-rings. From what I've read, there was a version of this kit back in the day that included O-rings that weren't of the best quality, and people encountered leaks here. But then there was also a fixed flange. This is an updated flange because it can kind of move left and right to help this thing center itself. These pieces are loose in there until you tighten the bolt. And then the O-ring, if you use OEM O-rings and you get these situated exactly where they would want to naturally sit, you should be good and not have any leaks. But something to keep in mind, I won't be able to show you in this video if this is leak-free because I'm not going to be starting the engine here. Just keep that in mind, that if you take care, you shouldn't have a leak here. Hopefully all goes well. Of course, this would be done in the car, but you'd be taking your line, screwing it on. And the way AN works is it just uses this shape here to seal. There's no O-rings or anything needed. It just uses the tapered fitting here to cause a perfect seal. Once you have both of these lines in the car, then you use this adapter just to hold them together like halfway through. That'll help keep them managed so they won't flutter around. So we'll take off this grill because it's going to need to be modified anyway. Now we'll take out the wheel liner. The brake cooling duct kind of just fell out of place because I had already removed stuff from the front. So you got an 8mm up here, you got an 8mm over here, and then you got a 10mm over here. Along with the usual screws that go along the bottom here that screw to your bumper, there's two 8mm. Then you have your tire pressure monitor. Unplug that. So we have this 10mm and an 8mm over here. That helps hold the shroud that goes to the front of this. And the reason it just fell out of the way is because I already snapped off the other side when I was taking out the bumper. but that should normally stay in place, and then you'll be modifying potentially. So these bolt to the front bumper bracket, and since I've already taken that off, this is moving freely, but normally these would just be fixed. And that's how you remove from the car. You'll of course have your front bumper and all the other stuff in the way. You could take your front bumper off, I guess, but really it's not necessary. And that bracketry and stuff will just stay in place. Let's go look at the cooler. Keep in mind that this oil cooler could have oil in it, so expect some spillage. I'm gonna pop this out. I'm gonna snap these in here. These appear to be the security type of Torx for whatever reason. So these screws won't work here. So in my instance, I had to use my own washer and my own bolts. They're the same bolts that you'd use to screw your bumper down to your rad support. That's the thread type. So of course you always get what you pay for with these kits. You got to use your own O-rings. Get a little bit creative to make sure you're going to make it work cleanly. But the upfront cost is low. So bringing over the piece with the straight fitting here. As far as I could tell, that's what you're supposed to do to get this to fit in here snug. Not crazy about it, but they do include this foam in the package. It should be fire retardant and will hold this tight. So that's what you should be looking at in terms of routing. You pass this hose through here. This hose here lives behind the intercooler. There's some interest in this kit, that's why I'm making this video. People asked me to make it, otherwise I probably wouldn't have, because I'm not giving you a full DIY. I don't have all the details with the engine out of the car, but given the interest in this kit, I'm just trying to do the best here, and you guys will have to use your imagination a little bit. So you can see how much bigger this is. It's pretty significant. I installed it to see how much trimming we're going to need to do. The tire pressure monitor sensor is going to have to be relocated. So for everything to fit, you're going to have to relocate your tire pressure monitor onto this little flat section here. So I'm going to notch this, and then we're going to drill a couple holes and replace it here instead. So there's the tire pressure monitor mounted to the front of the wheel liner now. This brake duct needs to be modified. So you got to measure about an inch back and make a line, and about 3/4 of an inch. We're going to cut out a notch here. So as you can see, notching that allows you to install it and screw in the fender liner and still have air pass beside the cooler. Basically, you still complete the flow because the edge of this will push the air through. So that's done. That's one of the steps you're going to need to do. So I'd imagine this is pretty much self-explanatory, but this factory ducting that would normally live here is no longer leveraged because it would just block too much of the rest of it. So you set this aside and just rely on the cooling that comes through the bumper in this bigger surface area to be fed, and then this is kind of like a channel in itself. Now I'm going to trim this wheel liner, starting from right at the edge of this, go down to about an edge from this area here. So that's how it's all going to sit. Next up, right from this edge here. I just plugged in the tire pressure monitor, so you can see that you can still plug it in. It'll still be within range of the wheel. When I put the wheel back, I realized that this is going to eventually touch from here when you're trying to put the bumper back together. So you're going to want to draw a line from here and cut it. Now that I have access from the front still, I'm going to be able to cut it from in front of it. Now you can draw the fender right up to where it needs to be when you're putting things back together. So there's a final look at the cooler in place. Here just from the front. I actually painted that foam piece black because I didn't like the way it looked. It's in there super snug and tight. So like I said, you have to use your imagination with regards to screwing those into the engine and whatnot. From what I understand, you're going to need about another quarter of a quart to fill this up versus the stock cooler. Anyways, that'll conclude this video showing you how to upgrade your oil cooler on a BMW E90. If this is the first video you're catching on mine, please consider subscribing. I do upload regularly. Thanks for watching.